I realized a few months ago that I am a professional cheerleader. And no, not the ones with pom-poms and catchy chants. I just love seeing people going after what they want because it takes bravery, it takes commitment, and it takes being a little bit crazy. If you don't believe me, ask the people who invented the airplane. Our next guest has no shortage of bravery or crazy, and I say that with all love. Welcome, Rasheed Stephens. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Rasheed, do you remember the first time that we met?
Yeah, we met at a what's the name of that talent agency up in Studio City?
I think it was first. It was something about first, but it was a talent agency. But do you remember what you said to me? The first thing you said to me.
No, what?
You said, "Hey, are you a lesbian?"
What?
Yeah, because you
What?
were booking a show. You were booking a comedy show.
Oh.
LGBTQ, yeah.
Wait,
That always stuck
what?
with me. I love it. Yeah, that's why I said from then on, I just knew you were a firecracker.
That's funny. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did used to throw those different kind of comedy shows back in.
right. Yeah, and that's why I love about it because I love comedy. So yeah, you were putting on comedy shows, and I just loved your hustle. I loved your drive. So
Mm.
Rasheed, tell us what have you been up to? The projects that you're involved in from the beginning. I remember the first thing you did was you wrote this independent film about your life, Coffee and Cabbage, or
Mm.
based on your life. And what have you been doing since then?
Well, since Coffee and Cabbage, I did like I wrote, produced, and started about like four more feature films, and I sold two of them, and I'm in the process of. I got a feature film that I did last year called Between Forever. It's a serendipitous romance about prison reform. We're in the works of sending that through festivals now. We just got out of post production, and now I'm in pre-production for another feature film that we shoot at the end of March, beginning of April, and I have a couple of TV shows, one on HBO and one on Netflix that I'm a part of. So, and I've been trying to sell a whole bunch of other TV shows with my new management. So it's been just an ongoing creative process for me. Yeah.
Right. I love it. You still on the hustle, still on the ground, because it's been about 6 years or something since we've connected. So, and I've
Hmm.
been following your journey, and I love it. I love that you're still on the grind, still hustling to go after what you want. So, how did you get to this point in your journey? As in, what are the things that you had to overcome? Because as a reference, Coffee and Cabbage was based on when you came to LA and you were homeless. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. I moved out to LA July 2012, basically on an adrenaline of dreams, and I had no financial recourse and stuff, and I ended up living in my car for about a year and a half. And I've always had this insatiable appetite to make it in whatever I do and whatever I love. So my grind just kept going, and those things, those ideas, and that persistent perpetuated itself. So it's been a uphill battle for me, and just always just doing what I love. So I think that's what always keeps me here and stuff, because I'm always doing what I love, and yeah.
I love it. So when you first came to LA, you were basically you were trying to audition and for things, right? And then there was a switch or a shift to where you were maybe not going so much for auditions, but then making sure you created your own
Yeah,
content.
yeah, yeah.
Is that safe to
Yeah, I
say?
mean, because initially when I first got out here, I would get auditions here and there, but I still didn't like the content, excuse me, or what I was going out for. So I decided to take my own initiative and create my own narrative. And I started going to pen and paper and creating my own scripts and stuff and my own content, whether that be I wasn't getting enough shows from other comedians. I wasn't getting booked them. So I would book my own comedy shows, produce my own. And, that ideology transitioned directly into movie making because I didn't like what I was auditioning for.
Mhm.
So I took my own initiative and I just start writing and producing my own stuff. And me coming from impoverished upbringing, I knew how to be very resourceful. So I use all the connections and people I met since I've been out here. And I said, I'm always a doer and never just a talker. So I just did what I believed in.
You know, what I observed about you when I was there in LA for the short time that I was there, I noticed that, like you said, you're a doer. When you get an idea in your head, you want to execute on it right away. And that is a success principle that I am actually learning and working on myself. Because a lot of times when people do it, people have brilliant ideas. They say you have at least $1 million idea sometime during your life. But what people don't do is act on it. And I noticed that about you. You want to get right on it as soon as you have that idea. Is that something you said you always had from your upbringing, or is it something you had to develop?
I don't think I mean, I've always been that way. Like when I wanted to play football, I just started going out to play football. I didn't keep saying, it was never me prolonging the idea. I just went and did it. When I wanted to move to transfer schools, I didn't think about it too long. I just did it. I mean, of course, it's calculated thoughts, but my process isn't, I don't elongate it because I know time is precious. Time is of the essence. So anything I do that I love, I just go attack it with my best of my ability. So I don't know, isn't it for me? It's hard for me to wrap myself around the thought of how other people think or how they choose to act or be reactive towards certain things. But me, I just always just had the willpower to just go do it, no matter what the obstacle was. And I think, I don't know, maybe that's innate, God given, or it could be inherent from my early adolescence. So I can't answer that question quite clear, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I love it. I just, like I said, I'm just going to observe and I just take the lessons and I run with it. So speaking of that, what would you say are the two biggest lessons that you learned out here in Hollywood so far?
The biggest two lessons, I would say, creating a great team, and that falls under the umbrella of the nature of the relationship of people you're dealing with, and making sure your team, you guys have a homogenous attitude to just want it. So I think surround yourself around a good team and knowing people and meeting people, because essentially it is about who you know. Building those relationships and being persistent. And protecting your energy to wrap all that around. Yeah. So I think those are some of the biggest lessons I've learned. I'm still constantly learning about being out here, but those are two things I can pinpoint. Yeah.
Okay, you said making sure you build the correct team, and I love what you said, protecting your energy. Okay, because there are a lot of negativity, there's a lot of naysayers out here. I love that, protecting your energy, and what you say, networking. Yes, it's like you said, it's about who you know. Ooh. If that is not one of the number one lessons to learn in general in life, yeah, we kind of sleep on that, the power of networking.
Yeah, that goes with every aspect of life, not just entertainment. And I think, you know, the unfortunate thing about schools, they don't teach us those invaluable things about life, that it's about relationships. It's about building those important relationships and having genuine relationships. Because, you know, now the fruits of my labor have started, you know, to come into fruition because all the hard grind I put in the last 8 years. So, and if I was an average person, or I came out here just chasing money, I probably would have left a long time ago. But now it's just in the last 8 years, literally in this last year and a half, that's when I started to see some financial recognition for what I was doing, or just some recognition for what I've been putting in the work for over these past years. So I say stick to it, it's going to happen.
Right. And I love that, because a lot of times, like, say your next television show, you know, gains momentous popularity. Some people might say, oh, he's an overnight sensation. But a lot of times people don't realize the years of that foundation that was laid. And I find out a lot when I hear about comedians. Oh yeah, it's years and years of that grind, and then it pays off in the end in a big way, as long as you keep at it. Well, Rasheed, I really thank you for spending the time with us today. I'm just looking forward to continuing to watch you and your journey. as I know that you will, continue to succeed and get everything that you want, because I know you're gonna go after it.
Yeah, you will too. Just keep going in your journey too. I wish you the best of luck, and my prayers and my energy are with you and your family. So yeah, I know. Yeah, you
I
guys will be
appreciate
blessed as well.
I appreciate that so much. And hey, you, yeah, you, get out of your way.